Hey, what up, everybody? Steviebreech coming to you. Tonight was a big night in professional wrestling. It was the Survivor Series. I'm not sure what annual number this is, but for 2012, I honestly thought that this show went into the pay-per-view with a minimal to basically little amount of buzz at all. I thought there was only two real storylines that was really going to come out of this. Is basically who was going to win the main event and basically scoot on to the Royal Rumble to be the guy who fought The Rock, and basically hopefully we would get a heel turn from somebody. And basically we got something huge, a big deal that probably is going to have a lot to do with pulling a big rating on Monday Night Raw. One of the diamonds in the roughs, I guess you can say one of the internet dandies out there that everybody likes to talk about, Dean Ambrose, made his big debut. Some of you might know as Johnny Moxley. When I honestly think about Johnny Moxley, I think of Trina Michaels more than anything out there. But as well as with him was Roman Reigns, a guy that has been on NXT since about Halloween time. Former football player from Georgia Tech is how I know him more than anything. But he's moved his way up the roster, and as well as Seth Rollins, formerly of Ring of Honor. You might remember him as Tyler Black. He was stolen right off the ROH roster when he was the champion. At the time is when he signed his deal, much like CM Punk was when they were just sort of signing everybody. So CM Punk has a little bit of a crew following him. He has the second pay-per-view in a row. He has outside help to help him. The first time was in the Hell in the Cell when he pinned Ryback with everybody's buddy Brad Maddox, an FCW superstar. And now he pulls up three more. I don't know if you call them FCW guys anymore or not, or if they're NXT guys, but NXT is how Michael Cole put them out there as three guys fresh off of NXT. Even though I don't think Dean Ambrose has ever been on NXT, I think he's been the guy that mostly I know more about Dean Ambrose, honestly, from talking to Luke Cage on Skype. He's probably the biggest Dean Ambrose fan I know, as well as every night that you watch Monday Night Raw and you follow everybody on Twitter, it is widely speculated that this is the week that Dean Ambrose will debut. I saw him wrestle in a dark match the Monday after WrestleMania. It was heavily speculated that he was going to debut on Monday Night Raw that night, but they've cooled him off until now. No idea. There hasn't really been any talk about it. People have really thought that the whole deal with him and Mick Foley back at WrestleMania, when Dean Ambrose looked drunk out of his mind and basically tried to pick a fight with Mick Foley for endangering all the, if I remember, it was like endangering all the kids that watch wrestling today that think that they have to jump off their parents' garage and injure their bodies and stuff like that. And Ambrose, I guess, was trying to think that there's a cleaner way of wrestling that he could have been doing. But basically, all in all, you can go back to when Punk left with the title of Money in the Bank. It was heavily speculated that he was going to come back and he was going to bring guys like the Kings of Wrestling and Tyler Black with him from then. Have his own little, I guess you can say, sort of Nexus crew of guys from FCW that he could have with him, that you would think of him as his guys that he brought from Ring of Honor. And it'd be sort of like a cheap way of saying, it'd be like his own little NWO of guys that do his bidding, and try to right the wrong of what the WWE was back then. Little did we know, Punk came back by himself, and in my opinion, he won the title. He won it twice and didn't really do a whole bunch. But CM Punk now is guaranteed to get a one-year title run with his win tonight. He will show up on Monday Night Raw, and I'm guaranteeing there will be some sort of a huge party and some sort of a payoff for what happened tonight. I think it is a big deal that these three wrestlers did debut, but you also have to get to the same point of where we go from here. I think we all saw Brad Maddox get killed on Monday, to the point where we thought, well, we'll never see him again, and now, is Ryback going to fight these three dudes and basically put him in the grave and they'll be NXT again, or are these guys going to be a big deal? Seth Rollins is your NXT champion. Is he just going to start appearing on Raw? Is he going to go back to NXT and drop a title to somebody? Are they just going to strip him and maybe have some sort of a tournament? All these guys just going to go back to NXT, and this is just one way of getting buzz. So Hulu can make some money off of their deal that they signed with the exclusive rights to the shows on the internet. I have no clue. That's basically all the information that I know. So I have no clue, besides to tell you that Monday Night Raw will be a show that you have to watch. Tomorrow, from there, in the undercard, you had Sheamus beat Big Show, but it was via disqualification, setting up a chairs match. TLC, stupidest pay-per-view I think there is out there. I hate this one more than almost anything. I think that the Hell in the Cell is a dumb idea, but because it basically, you can look at a calendar and know what feud is going to be what where. But this one right here, just to have matches set up around, a tables match, a ladder match, a chairs match, and a TLC match if you get all four. Most of the time they give us all four, A ladder match is okay. A TLC match is okay. If you have a feud that lives up to it, mostly you can put almost any mid-card guys going after an Intercontinental title or something like that in a ladder match, and it's going to be good stuff. But a chairs match, it still makes no sense to me. I think they did a cool ending with Barrett versus Cena a few years ago, where he got buried underneath the chairs at the end of the show. But that and a tables match just really doesn't have any place in wrestling anymore. You can do table spots, but in order just to end a match after putting a guy through a table, that doesn't make sense to me at all. You had Cesaro beating R-Truth. I think everybody in the world saw that. Eve pulled off a win against Caitlyn. In your two Survivor Series matches, I really wanted to do a review on this. If I would have watched this show last night, I would have done it. I almost still did it. It's my second pay-per-view of all time. Is basically Survivor Series 1990, and I didn't want to fake a review because I've never really done that on here before. But I honestly can tell you almost everything that happens on that damn show, and it's believable. They have team captains with team names, and the people on the teams made sense. Every guy had a feud that you believed that these two guys hated each other, whether from watching Superstars or All-American Wrestling or Wrestling Challenge. After all these shows, they made sure every single one of these guys, their feud mattered. Tonight, you had Team Ziggler and Team Foley. Then you had Team Brodus Clay and Team Tenzai. They gave a team to Lord Tenzai. If they're giving him to Tenzai, who the hell else isn't going to be getting it? Why? Why didn't Yoshitatsu get his own team out there? I have no clue. But I don't know. Survivor Series, I love the name. I love the concept. But they don't put anything into these matches to make the point that it kills me. I love them. I think you could build around 5 different Survivor Series style matches. I don't know if you could get people to buy it as a pay-per-view though. It might be time to put this pay-per-view to rest. Or at least the concept of having these matches. You can keep the Survivor Series name and just have singles matches. They've done it before, and you probably haven't noticed, but you complained about it, but then you just forgot about it. But, I don't know. Basically, Team Ziggler, they beat Team Foley, and then Team Brodus Clay beat Team Tenzai. Even though the primetime players was on it, I would have given them the win, guaranteed. But it didn't happen. If you watch the pre-show, the 3-man band, the most 3-over guys in wrestling, they beat Team Cobra of Santino and Zach. I didn't see that. But it is what it is. And a stupid lady screwed me out of seeing the debut of all the guys at the end of the match. And that's a funny story for another time and another place. But I got to see it when I got home on YouTube. So good times. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. Peace out. Have a good day. And Monday Night Football, Bears and 49ers, going to be a good game. What up, Buff? Buff is the stuff. Right there, he's the man.